Hi, welcome to the Big Bang of Data Science. So we are at the fourth and the last element of the Big Bang of Data Science, that is to discuss code AI from the start to the end. If you have come directly to this fourth element, I should encourage you to go back and check the three main elements of the Big Bang of Data Science, and that is research from the start to the end, analysis from the start to the end, and finally prediction from the start to the end. Where in the three previous elements of the Big Bang of Data Science discussed the idea of outputting a product, where in the first two elements, research from the start to the end and analysis from the start to the end, we discussed how you could understand the past and make sense of it, and then discuss the present. And the present was actually the image of the final product. But then we said if we wanted to add an element of the future or the unknown, this is where we spoke about the future through the idea of prediction. That was the last topic in the third book, that is prediction from the start to the end. So the previous three elements of the Big Bang of Data Science was actually to have in-depth discussion on this issue. Now we assume by the end of these three elements or three books, you should have by then produced our product, and this product is a predictive product, where the first two were the analytical model, and the third one helped you to convert that analytical model into a predictive model. We wanted to convert that product into a sort of an image to have ability for a user to interact with. And this is where we come up with the idea to look at a digital presentation of that product by outputting a software, so to speak. And that's why we are now discussing the fourth element of the Big Bang of Data Science, and that is to code AI from the start to the end, where I'm going to show you some steps. If we take one of those AI product, how can we output a digital software in the form of a desktop software? Let's go ahead and review the chapters of this book. First, we'll be looking at chapter 1, and that is a quick introduction, where we're going to have a quick review on the course strategy, the project and the timeline, programming and structure, and finally development, execution, and maintenance. So in the first outline, I'm going to discuss with you the course strategy, and you should be familiar by then with this particular graph that you see on the screen, which is actually one element of the second book, analysis from the start to the end. Why I have chosen this particular graph to be the course strategy, because the final product, which is the actual model, just needed to be turned over into a sort of a GUI for user to interact with. Next, we will be actually looking at the project and the timeline. In the project and the timeline, we're going to discuss some of the idea how to handle the work of having a project, because we are not looking on a random way of just learning how to code a desktop or a mobile phone or a web app, but actually to work on it as a project, and what does timeline factor on that. Then we will be looking at programming and structure, where I'm going to take you through deep understanding on the idea of programming and structure, and how the use of code is so beneficial to actually turn over an idea or a solution into a digital form. And then finally, we'll be discussing a development, execution, and maintenance, which actually going to include these four important steps to understand the meaning of programming and digital software. Next, we will be looking at chapter 2, and that is the technical setup, where I'm going to explore with you the underlying AI principle, and then the front end, the back end, and the pipeline principle or the database principle, and finally project setup and essentials. So as the name is indicating, we're going to discuss the principle of AI having to turn that module into a digital software, where I'm going to walk you through the actual different difference between a traditional kind of a software and AI kind of a software. What are the challenges and what are the advantages of doing so? Then we will be looking at the front end and the back end and the database principles, where this terminology usually only aligns with the web development sector, but I wanted to show you the idea of a front end and a back end and a database actually can be generalized to any kind of a software or a digital solution. Then finally, we will be looking at the project setup and essentials, where we're going to discuss the language that we're going to use, the main library that is going to be in tandem with that language to outcome or output a GUI. Of course, we're going to also discuss the database. Here in chapter 3, we're going to execute our first or essential project. Now, in the first project, we will be working on a project which I named HCCV1. In this project, we're going to have a quick introduction, the idea of the project, then the workflow of the project, and finally the project execution. Now, in the project introduction, I introduce you to the main idea of the problem, which is going to be actually handling a predictive model to predict a case, whether it has a certain issues or not. And then I will walk you through the fundamental idea on how actual project is being conducted in the first place, regardless of whether we intend to create an AI model or just a solution in general. Then we will be working on the workflow of the project, how we're going to put things together, which IDE we're going to be using, the arrangement of the programming language, etc. And finally, we're going to go for the project execution, where we're going to actually code the first desktop software for that purpose. Last but not least, we will be looking at chapter number 4 to execute the second project in this book, and that is FSP V1 project. First, we'll be looking again at the introduction of the project, then the workflow, and finally the execution. So in the first introduction, I'm going to introduce you to the main idea of this project, the FSP project, where I'm going to actually touch on a different field of interest. The previous one was a healthcare. This is going to be from finance domain, where you're gonna actually have a clear idea on the general perspective of this project. Next, we'll be looking at the workflow of the project. We're gonna walk through the main element that is needed to be prepared, such as the IDE, etc., etc. And finally, of course, the project execution. So by the end of this book, as you have seen in chapter 3 and chapter 4, you will be able actually to design 2 desktop applications, one for healthcare sectors and the other for finance sectors. You see the difference between 2 domains. It just to prove the idea that your job as a scientist or as a developer should be wider than just only stick into a particular domain, but actually you are a solution architect. That is the targeted idea of Big Bang of data science. I hope by the end of this book you were able actually to walk through the steps carefully from the very beginning to the end, just as the aim of the Big Bang of data science, where you have mastered the idea of research from the start to the end, analysis, prediction, and finally you were able actually to outcome your product in a form of a digital software. Now, what is next? I have already prepared a quick introduction on my next materials yet to come. If you have an interest in that, you may want to watch that quick introduction. But until now, I hope by the end of this element in the Big Bang of data science, I have already contributed something that perhaps benefits you and contribute to your endeavor. Finally, I would like to take this opportunity to thank you one more time for participating in this program, and I look forward to your participation in upcoming project in the near future. Until then, stay well. Thank you very much. Cheers.